Let's talk about the one experience every single one of us will share. The final moment, the last breath, the great, silent mystery that has captivated, terrified, and inspired humanity since the dawn of thought. What is it like to die? For most of history, the answer was pure speculation, the domain of priests and philosophers. But in our time, something remarkable has happened. We have begun to gather data, not from spirits or scriptures, but from the most credible sources, people who have been there, people whose hearts have stopped, whose brains have flatlined, who were clinically dead by every medical standard, and who were then brought back, and they returned with stories. These are not vague dreams or drug-induced hallucinations. They are accounts of startling clarity and profound consistency, reported by people from all walks of life, all cultures, and all belief systems. They form a collective testimony, a map of the ultimate journey. And tonight, we are going to read that map together. We're going to walk, step by step, through the landscape of a near-death experience to understand what it might teach us about life, death, and the nature of our own consciousness. Our journey begins not with a bang, but with a failure. The body, that magnificent and fragile machine, reaches its limit. A coronary artery becomes completely blocked. Aneurysms burst in the brain. Anaphylaxis closes the throat. The vital signs plummet. On the monitor, the steady beat of the heart becomes a relentless, single tone. To the medical team, this is a crisis to be managed. To the person experiencing it, it is often the beginning of an incredible liberation. The first stage is often sensory. Deprived of its usual inputs, the consciousness seems to perceive a new kind of signal. Many report a sound, but this is not a sound heard with the ears. It is perceived directly by the mind. For some, it is a disturbing mechanical noise, a loud, roaring, buzzing sound like a swarm of angry bees or the screech of metal on metal. It can be jarring, even frightening. For others, the sound is profoundly beautiful. A single, pure, resonant tone, like a giant bell or a complex, celestial music that seems to emanate from the very fabric of space and time. This sound acts as a threshold, a signal that one is crossing from one state of being into another. And then the defining, most commonly reported event occurs. The separation. You feel a sudden shift, a sensation of popping loose or floating upward. You find yourself looking down from a point near the ceiling or the upper corner of the room. And below you, you see a scene of frantic activity centered on a body that you recognize with a shock as your own. There it is, lie on the gurney, pale and still. The doctors are performing CPR. Nurses are administering medication. The defibrillator is charged and ready. In this state, you are pure awareness. There is no pain. The anxiety and fear that would normally accompany such a scene are gone, replaced by a breathtaking clarity and a deep, pervasive peace. You can see everything, hear everything, but you are detached from it. You are a spectator to your own drama. You might see the panic on a nurse's face, hear the doctor's terse commands, and feel profound grief of your family member who has just been ushered into the hallway. You understand their thoughts and emotions directly, as if they were your own. You might try to comfort them, to tell them you're okay, but your attempts at communication go unheard. This is the first and perhaps most revolutionary revelation. I am not that body. I am the awareness that is watching it. I continue, even as that has failed. This realization shatters the foundational belief that we are merely our physical selves. This out-of-body consciousness is not bound by the laws of physics. A thought is enough to transport you. You think of your home, and instantly you are there, watching your children, unaware, watching television. You think of a loved one far away, and you can be by their side, sensing their daily routine, their unspoken worries. This newfound ability underscores another profound truth. In this state, love is a tangible force, a kind of gravity that can instantly draw you across any distance. But this freedom is often short-lived. A new, irresistible pull begins. It is a gentle, loving current that draws you away from the immediate scene, away from the world itself. You find yourself moving through a dark space. For some, it is a classic tunnel, a well-defined passageway with light at the end. For others, it is a vast, starless night, a peaceful void, or a journey through a deep, dark valley. There is no fear here, only a sense of profound purpose and movement, a feeling of traveling toward a long-forgotten home. And then you see it, the light. Words consistently fail those who try to describe it. It is not a light that hurts the eyes. It is a light that nourishes the soul. It is at first a distant point, but as you approach, it expands to fill your entire field of awareness. This light is not merely bright. It is alive, intelligent, and pulsating with what can only be described as pure, unconditional love. It is a love that knows you completely, every secret, every shame, every triumph, every failure, and it accepts you absolutely. It is a love that feels more like home than any place you have ever been. As you move into this light, every question is answered, every fear is soothed, every wound is healed. You are immersed in a feeling of absolute belonging. Within this light, a communication begins. It is not with words, but with a direct, instantaneous transfer of knowledge and feeling. A presence makes itself known. Some interpret this as God, others as a supreme being, an angel, or their own higher self. The identity is less important than the quality of the interaction, which is one of infinite compassion and wisdom. A question is posed, not as an accusation, but as a gentle, loving inquiry. What wisdom have you gained from your life? Or how have you loved? And with this question, your entire life unfolds before you. This is a life review, and it is one of the most significant and transformative aspects of the entire journey. It is not like watching a movie on a screen. It is a total, immersive re-experiencing of every significant moment of your existence. But the perspective is radically shifted. You do not experience events from your own point of view. You experience them from the perspective of everyone you ever interacted with. You feel the immense joy and pride your mother felt when you were born. You feel her exhaustion, her triumph, her overwhelming love as if it were your own. In the next moment, you are 7 years old, and you feel the sting of humiliation from the child you tease on the playground. You feel their hot tears, their confusion, the sinking feeling in their stomach. You experience the gratitude of the elderly man whose grocery bags you helped carry, feeling his relief and surprise at a simple kindness. You feel the heartbreak of your first lover when you ended the relationship, the depth of their pain echoing within you. Review is comprehensive and nonlinear. It highlights not the grand public achievements, but the private, seemingly insignificant moments of human connection. The time you patiently taught your younger sibling to tie their shoes. The moment you chose to listen instead of speak to a grieving friend. The small, anonymous donation you made. These moments shine with a brilliant light. Conversely, the moments where you acted out of pettiness, jealousy, or cruelty are felt with stark clarity, not to punish you, but to make you understand the real, energetic consequences of your choices. The being of light is your guide through this review, helping you to see with compassion, even for your own mistakes. The ultimate lesson of the review is the law of interconnectedness, that we are all one. Hurting another is hurting yourself. Helping another is helping the whole. Often, during this profound encounter, you are greeted by other beings. They appear as forms of light or as recognizable figures. Deceased grandparents, parents, friends, even pets. They are not old or sick. They are in their prime, radiating health, joy, and love. They are there to welcome you, to offer guidance, and to reassure you. Communication with them is also telepathic, a flawless exchange of thought, emotion, and pure knowing. They may offer messages for those still on earth, or their simple, loving presence may be message enough. Then you reach the frontier. A boundary seems to appear. On one side is the overwhelming, magnetic pull of the light, of the state of perfect love and understanding that feels like your true home. The desire to stay is almost unbearable. On the other side is your life on earth, with all its attachments and unfinished business. A choice is presented. For some, the choice is clear and firm. It is not your time. You must go back. Your purpose is not yet fulfilled. For others, it is a conscious, difficult decision. They think of their children growing up without them, a book they haven't written, a love they haven't fully expressed. The being of light respects this autonomy completely. There is no coercion, only a loving support for whatever path you choose. The return is almost universally described as the most difficult part of the entire ordeal. It is a violent, jarring re-entry into the physical world. You feel yourself being pulled backward, rushing back to the tunnel or darkness, and with a sudden, gasping, often painful jolt, you are slammed back into your physical body. The boundless peace is replaced by physical agony. The brilliant clarity is replaced by the fog of medication and trauma. The all-encompassing love is replaced by the sterile, clinical environment of a hospital room. The contrast is so stark that many returnees weep with despair. But the person who is revived is not the same person who died. They have been fundamentally and permanently transformed. The most immediate and lasting change is a complete eradication of the fear of death. They do not believe consciousness survives the body. They know it. This knowledge is not a matter of faith, but direct, unshakable experience. This liberation from the primal human fear allows them to live with a courage and authenticity that is rare. They understand that death is not an end, but a transition graduation, a homecoming. Their value system is turned upside down. The pursuit of material wealth, social status, and power is seen as a pointless game. What becomes paramount are love, knowledge, compassion, and service. They often feel a compelling, urgent drive to be of help to others, to share the message of our interconnectedness, and to live in a way that is ecologically and ethically responsible. They develop a heightened sensitivity to the emotions of others and a deep, mystical connection to nature and all living things. They see the divine spark in everyone. This is not to say that life becomes a state of blissful ease. Many returnees face immense challenges, a phenomenon known as the problem of fitting back in. How do you explain this ineffable experience to your spouse, your friends, your colleagues? How do you function in a world obsessed with the very things you now know are illusory? They often suffer from profound homesickness of the light, a deep sense of loneliness and isolation in a world that seems to be asleep to its true nature. Integrating a cosmic, spiritual revelation into the mundane reality of paying bills and taking out the trash is a profound and ongoing struggle. Many also report new sensory sensitivities to light, sound, and emotional energies of crowds that can make modern life overwhelming. So, what is the practical application for those of us who have not stood at that threshold? We do not need to have a brush with death to incorporate its wisdom. The lessons from the edge are a blueprint for a meaningful life. First, live with fearlessness. Embody the knowledge that you are an eternal consciousness, having a temporary human experience. Let this understanding free you from the petty anxieties of social judgment and the paralyzing fear of failure. Take the risk to love deeply, to speak your truth, to pursue your passion, and to forgive those who have wronged you. The worst that can happen in any earthly situation is not death, but failure to grow from the experience. Second, understand the profound significance of your daily interactions. The Life Review reveals that our legacy is written in the small, quiet moments. The patience you show a frustrated child, the courtesy you extend to a slow cashier, the willingness to listen without interrupting, the decision to offer a word of encouragement, these are the moments that form the core of your soul's resume. They are the curriculum of a life well lived. Be intentional with your kindness. Third, embrace your life as a school. Your purpose here is soul growth. See your challenges, your heartbreaks, and your failures not as punishments or random misfortunes, but as a necessary curriculum for learning resilience, empathy, forgiveness, and patience. Every difficulty is an opportunity to evolve into a more compassionate and understanding being. Finally, and most importantly, love. The unanimous message from the other side is that love is not just an emotion. It is a fundamental substance of the universe. It is a lesson, the purpose, and the destination. To love is to align yourself with the ultimate reality. This means making the active choice, moment by moment, to be kind when you could be harsh, to be understanding when you could be judgmental, to be generous when you could be selfish, and to be compassionate when you could be indifferent. The collective testimony of those who have returned from death reveals a vision of reality that is ultimately hopeful, meaningful, and loving. It suggests that death is not a wall, but a doorway. It is not an end, but a transition to a state of being that is more real, more vivid, and more intensely loving than we can possibly imagine. Don't wait for a rash or an odor to develop. By that stage, your skin is already signaling that it is under significant stress. A healthy groin area enhances overall comfort, freedom of movement, and even personal confidence. It allows you to walk, exercise, and rest without pain. And when you care for this region daily, you are doing more than just maintaining cleanliness. You are safeguarding one of your body's most vulnerable zones from breakdown, infection, and long-term damage. If you're still watching and finding this content valuable, please let us know by commenting number 6 down below. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I strongly suggest you subscribe and enable the notification bell so you're always in the loop. Your support is a foundation that allows us to keep creating beneficial content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move ahead to our final point. Ultimately, when it comes to aging in a healthy and graceful manner, it is frequently the smallest, most consistent habits that yield the most profound results. Daily personal hygiene might not seem like a matter of critical importance, but as we have explored today, the manner in which you care for your body, particularly these easily forgotten areas, can play a formidable role in your long-term health, daily comfort, and even your overall lifespan. Which of these 5 body parts was the most surprising to you? Was there one you had not given much consideration to before watching this? The truth is, wisdom in our later years isn't solely about understanding grand philosophical truths. It's about paying attention to the quiet details, the daily rituals, the subtle signals our bodies send us, and the opportunity we are granted each day to protect the physical vessel we still inhabit, with gentleness, consistency, and profound respect. If you have stayed with us until now, I hope this discussion provided not just a simple list of tasks, but a richer appreciation for your own body, and a refreshed dedication to care for it with clear intention. Because you are not merely rinsing off grime, you are preserving the very vessel that carries you through this beautiful and continuously unfolding journey of life. Thank you for being with us today. We would be delighted to hear your thoughts. Please leave a comment below and share one key takeaway from today's talk and how you intend to apply it in your own daily routine. Your perspectives are incredibly valuable to us, so please feel free to share them. Reading your feedback provides us with tremendous motivation and inspiration. If you enjoyed this video and found it useful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and share it with others. Your support enables us to keep producing quality content designed to educate and uplift you. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to connecting with you again in the next video.